In this episode of the Internet of Things show, I will actually talk with Zoltan Varga, who's one of our developers on the SDKs, about Python and what, as a Python developer, you can do with Azure IoT. Hey, welcome back. Thanks for watching the IoT show. We are here with Zoltan Varga, and Zoltan is one of our developers in the Azure IoT team. Hey, Zoltan, how are you?
I'm doing great, Olivier.
Great.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming. Well, it's been some time that I wanted to have more developers here and showing some actual demos. So, Zoltan, what is your responsibility in the Azure IoT team these days?
I work on different SDKs. I'm owning the Python SDK and the Python releases, and working on others also.
Okay. So when we say we have a Python SDK for Azure IoT, what does that mean exactly?
We are offering a Python SDK as a wrapper on top of C SDK, and we offering also binary packages, which are Python pip packages, to be able to install easily on the different devices.
And the source code is all open source, right?
Source code is all open source. The Python repo is a separate repo. C repo is there also. All the code is available for the customers.
Cool. So you are one of the guys who are actually on GitHub, like doing the code, but also responding to the issues and so on. Are you seeing a lot of, just like out of curiosity, are you seeing a lot of contributions from the outside or issues logging and things like that?
We do have pull requests frequently. Mostly in the core of the thing in CSDK. Python SDK, because it's a lightweight code, we have less pull requests there. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, that works. That makes sense actually. And so, last question, and then we'll jump into code, because actually you already have like command shell open and so on, which is awesome. Just looking forward to that. But we do have two types of SDKs, right? So I think it's great to remind people how we approach the SDKs and why we have what we call a service SDK versus a device SDK, right? So can you tell us a bit about what's the difference between these two clients?
Sure, good question. We offering a client SDK, device client SDK, which means if somebody got a small device or bigger or a desktop computer and want to have that device behave like a IoT Hub client, reporting data, getting commands from the IoT Hub, and all these device-related things. That's the device SDK. The users have to install the device SDK on that device, and the device start to behaving like an IoT endpoint.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And the service SDK is for the backend, right?
Yes, the service SDK mainly to managing these devices, creating, deleting, communicating to the devices, collecting data from the devices, and the processing is coming later on Azure.
Okay. Well, what is it that you're going to show us? Like, before jumping into code, because I know you're eager, like let's tell our audience actually what is it they're going to see in the next few minutes.
Yes. So I want to just shortly touch the service SDK part. Basically, one of the Linux machines set up with the device SDK sample code, and I will create a device and delete a device, and we check on the portal, the Azure portal, if the device created and or not. And also I will show right away the pip packages which have to be installed there to work like a service or device client.
Okay, let's jump in there.
Yes, I'm connected with this terminal to one of my Linux box, and here I have a folder created for this Channel 9 demo, and I will show you the folder content. Basically, just the pure service SDK samples there. Directly getting, I got them directly from the source repo. What we have there,
so
like no modification.
So git clone of the repository for the SDKs, and you have the samples embedded in there for you to play with. Okay, got it.
I also showing here in a browser the Azure portal, which is the portal where we manage the devices. This is the hub what I also created for these demo purposes.
Makes sense. Okay.
As we see here, this hub currently have one device.
Okay.
I created Z. That's
Zoltan
probably
001.
Zoltan, yes.
Okay.
But now with this other terminal window, I'm going to create another device.
Okay.
Just
so here you are actually using the service SDK, and you did a pip install. And now you're
yeah, actually, yeah. Thank you for reminding me. I didn't show that.
It's just like going too fast.
Yes, yes. If I do pip freeze here, it will show the installed packages.
Okay.
And one of the package here is the service client, SDK, which we actually I will show on the Raspberry Pi how easy to get it with pip.
Sounds good.
Okay, and then I'm just running this sample here.
Okay.
And that must create a device in the Azure portal. We can see that. If we do refresh here, the channel 9 device has been created.
Awesome, great.
And the device has all the details and everything.
You had to provide some secret, right, for the security in here, right? So the sample itself will use some credentials that will allow it to change the registry on IoT Hub, right?
Correct.
Okay.
We have two main security string, basically what we are using for service and client SDKs. For service purposes, we need the IoT Hub connection string.
Got it.
And if you want to create a device, you need another string, which is the device name.
Got it. Yeah.
And that's it. What's there, and the device has been created.
Okay. So you created that one line with one command line using the samples, and which are actually underneath is just using one API as well, right? So when you look at the sample itself, it's just one call creates the client with the credentials, and then just like calls that one API to create the device identity, right?
That simple as this. Yeah.
But
the samples obviously are a little bit more advanced.
Yes,
the samples have some printout, and all this stuff what we see on the screen.
Yes.
So I'm going to delete these devices right away, and then we actually demonstrated what the pip package, the service client pip package can do. If I do refresh here,
the device went away. So you have the full management as a Python developer. As soon as you have the credentials to access the service APIs, you can actually do that. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. So just keep in mind we have this Z001 device already created.
Okay.
I will use this device for the Raspberry Pi, the device client demonstration. Okay. So now in this terminal window, I'm in the Raspberry Pi.
Okay.
If I
so you're just using SSH, right?
Yes, just using SSH. I didn't want to set up big monitors and others here.
Okay, makes sense.
Just SSH. As you see, we have more files here. The device client needs more files. Also, I added two interesting ones: the Billboard Pi and the Rainbow Pi.
Okay.
I can
these
show
are the samples, right? So you basically cloned the repo for the device samples, right? And so that's what we see here. And you're showing the changes you made on that for that device.
Yes.
For that demo, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Correct.
got it.
So
you see, I follow, right? I'm good.
You know.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So in Visual Studio Code, I opened that folder basically, and other than our samples, the Billboard is one of the small Python code. Which on this device, on this Raspberry Pi, we have this hat module, which has lots of sensors, by the way. This hat has, I think, 7 or 6 different sensors, temperature, and all this stuff, but also has a very nice LED display.
Yeah, that's the Raspberry Pi Sense hat, right? So someone wants to find it. Sense hat is very common, and I love that one.
And it's very good for and controlling that hat, we need the Python code and the Python library, which I also downloaded with pip. That part is the hat installation.
Got it.
And this is the very small code what I'm going to use for this Billboard.
To do what?
To do printout on this LED Hello Channel 9.
I see you coming. I like that.
I don't know why that came. Okay. And the other code what I will use, this is from hat samples. I just took it from there.
Copy paste. Yeah.
Copy paste there, and this code will actually create a rainbow color display.
On the LED display.
On
Okay.
the LED, yes. And
Okay.
in the samples, so I show you here. This is exactly the sample of what we have in the repo.
Okay.
No modification. The other guy here, this channel 9 guy, which I run later.
Okay.
I show you the difference what I already, what I just did.
Okay.
So on the right side, the channel 9, it shows I imported the Billboard and Rainbow modules
Modules, okay.
libraries,
Yeah,
yes. And when the method call has been, when the device method has been called,
Yeah.
I'm just checking if the method name is, what is the method name.
Okay.
And according to that, I'm calling to either of these modules that we have there.
So one thing I just noticed is that, I knew before, but I want to call it out for our audience, is in the samples that you have for devices, you have one file, actually, one script for device that shows telemetry, methods, twins, so all the functionality that you can have, the basic functionalities of a device client, you have them demonstrated into that one file.
Yes.
And what you did is basically hack the sample to do something special on a specific method
For
call,
this
right?
demo. Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Got it.
And
Perfect.
yes, and
That's
as,
clear.
I just wanted to follow on that, follow up on that.
Yeah.
Yes, this sample is a complex sample, what we're providing here. Receive message callback, status callback there, twin operations,
But
method
it's a
operation.
one-stop shop.
It's a
It's
big,
like, yeah.
But in
it's
Python it makes sense because it's very clear separation and it's easy to follow. Yeah.
So now you basically have the code, it's ready.
Yeah.
How do you run it on the Pi?
Yes. First of all, we have to check if the package, the device client package
That
is
could be
there or
useful,
not.
yeah.
And that would be a pip list or pip freeze.
Okay.
Any of those commands.
Yeah. And so you want to make sure that IoT Hub, client, something is there, right?
lots of packages there, but I don't see any Azure.
Oh, okay.
Package. So
Not good. Bad.
that's not good.
Bad
so
type.
somebody,
no Azure in there.
yeah. So we say pip install and Azure IoT Hub device client,
Okay.
and that should do the job.
That's live. You're actually installing the pip live
Yes.
from the
My
Pi.
heart
It's
beats.
not pre-installed.
Don't worry. So okay, looks
Downloading.
like everything went well. If I
Well,
do,
it's pretty straightforward.
if I do the pip list again,
Do you have dependencies that come with that? So
well, everything is in one package.
everything is in that
yes,
one package. So that means the protocols that you're using, everything's in there,
Everything.
self-contained.
everything. So
Nice. How big is it?
that was
That's a trick question. That's fine.
tricky
That's
question.
okay. We don't have to
remember.
answer now.
Yeah. So, but as you see now here, we have this
Yes,
package
you
installed.
have it.
And now we expecting it to work with.
So you can
With
just
the
start
device client code.
Okay.
Let me cheat and copy this code from here with the connection string and everything.
Okay.
And
So you
looks like,
prepared,
okay,
so you prepared a connection string. That's the device ID
Yes.
that was created. You copied that, and that's one of the arguments of your
Yes.
sample. Got it.
this
Okay.
is the
Makes
connection
sense.
string here.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
defining the protocol here.
You're gonna have to remove the device
I
by the
will
moment we
remove the
publish
whole
the video, right?
whole hub will be gone in
So
5
it's a
minutes.
piece of advice: never do demos when it was an actual secret that is showed on the screen, or remove the device immediately, right?
Yes, which will happen. So,
Okay.
but now the device is running, and if we go to the Azure portal,
Yes.
and we are very lucky.
So you have your device; it's connected.
Connected and everything. I go to the direct method
Yes.
call,
And you want to
and
invoke the method.
let's do the rainbow first.
Okay.
Okay. On the portal, actually, there is a requirement. I have to fill up the method payload.
Okay.
It doesn't accept empty payload, and that must be a JSON. So that's another cheat
Got
here.
it.
I
Okay.
saved it for myself to don't
Yeah.
do anything.
You say that's a limitation of the portal, right? So
That's
you
the portal,
don't have
yeah.
to have a payload if you send a direct method. So if you're using an API or something, the payload could be empty.
Yes, but then it must be an empty JSON.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so
Got it.
that's
Makes
another,
sense.
yes,
Okay.
you're right. Yeah. So now I'm invoking the method, and wow, it worked.
Oh,
So we have
Cool.
a rainbow thingy here.
That's awesome. I mean, it's actually
And-
shining and so on. It's like, yeah, there's no
le-
unicorn, but there's a rainbow. like.
Yeah. Yes.
then you use
and if
billboard
I do the
command,
billboard, then it will.
and now it's going to show the message.
It will greet the whole studio.
Oh,
here.
nice. Hello, channel 9. I love it.
Thanks.
And so basically,
So-
to be honest, like you did a pip install. So you have to have Python installed on a Raspberry Pi, which comes by default, right?
Yes.
And you did pip install.
That's
and
it.
then you did what? You did a git clone of the. Well, you can just like
No,
copy paste
there
the
is no
files,
clone.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I
copy
just-
paste of the sample script,
Correct.
and you ran
That's
it.
it. That's it.
Nice.
If you don't want to do the head stuff even, then you don't even have to modify anything.
Okay.
You can run the script from, so there are two ways to run the samples. One is you edit the sample and put the secret string into the sample
Okay.
what we are offering in the repo. Or the other way, run from command line, because there is a command line processor shipped with the Python samples,
Okay.
and then you just add the command line options there with the protocol and the
Easy,
secret string,
easy
and
enough.
It looks
so
easy, yeah.
that's cool. You're showing a very simple scenario, but I suspect that the SDK, and we will not cover that now, but the SDK supports all the more advanced functionalities such as automatic retry and things like that that are part of the value prop of that SDK, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
All the features what we're offering in C is available in Python. We just have to take care of the parity of the API surface. But feature-wise, like you mentioned, the reconnection logics or any other timeouts and everything is just like the C SDK. Nothing surprising.
Cool. Well, Zoltan, that was very enlightening. I hope you guys, Python developers especially, no more excuses. Now you can go and create your IoT devices connected to Azure
Absolutely.
IoT. Right? Thanks, Zoltan. Have a good one.
Thank you very much, Olivier.
And see you soon.
It was fun.
Thanks for
Thank
watching,
you.
guys.
Thank you.